Uh, I'm still waiting for a couple of things. Hold on. Before I officially. Hmm. Okay. Alright, well, I'm live now, so might as well just start it for whoever eventually comes in and sees. Hey, how's it going, guys? How you doing? Ah, Jacob York already here. Hey, how you doing? I'm trying to figure out a couple of things here because I'm streaming, but I'm not having anything on the computer. So maybe I don't know. That's kind of difficult. Got 4 people watching already. That's crazy. So how you guys doing? Doing. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm certainly doing good. Plum Show host, hey, how you doing? Says finally after 2 or 3 months, I think. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, I did say that I was gonna be streaming more often. Let me turn down the TV a bit more. Yeah, I did say I was gonna be streaming a lot more. But then after that, it was like, nope, stopped. Yeah, that happened. It was interesting. But yeah, just decided to do it right now. Not 100% sure why, but yeah, just something told me why not stream. I was like, okay, sure, So that's kind of where I'm at. Um, so yeah, hopefully you guys saw the last video that I posted. How many days I posted that? Like about a couple of days ago, probably. I mentioned how I was, why I wasn't here for a while. And yeah, that was basically because, again, I had the shoot. I'm really struggling with what I'm trying to say right now. It's crazy. I had the rehearsals, and then I had, job interviews and this, and, a lot of things have been going on, and so a lot of stuff's been changing. So that probably means that the flow of this channel will probably be changing as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm never going to be making videos here ever again. Definitely not saying that. I don't know how often I'm going to be making videos on this channel anymore. So even though it's not that I don't have the time. That's definitely not it at all. What it is that, um, because when it comes to my job, it kind of varies. Sometimes I work 2 times a week. Sometimes I work 3 times a week. And I just recently got my schedule, and excuse me. Yeah, so I just recently got my schedule for the next coming week. I go back to work tomorrow. Then I have Sunday off, and so I have Monday, and then I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. Then I go back on Saturday. So as you can tell, I have a ton of time, at least for this week. And honestly, that can change anytime. That it doesn't mean that it's going to fully stay like that. It may not fully stay like that. It might change. I don't know when it's going to change. I don't know when it's going to, if it's going to stay the same or anything like that. But as far as I know, that's what I have as of right now. Yeah, hold on a second. I'm still trying to figure out a couple of things. I mean, the stream's happening, but I kind of set up something on the computer, then I'm streaming on the phone. So I'm not 100% sure if I can get any updates. And it's probably going to be confusing because there's probably like two videos where it's saying, "Hey, you're streaming right now," and then you don't. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly have no clue what's going on right now. No. It says no. It's probably another one. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. But um, yeah. So if that's the case, I should probably fix the other thing. Um. Well, in the meantime, whoops. Let me not have my finger in the. Okay. So, Nathan Fuga, how you doing? Says hi. How are you? I'm doing good. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Uh, he also asks, have you seen Peter Rabbit yet? I would really like to know. No, I have not seen the movie yet. I don't know when I'm gonna see it. I could possibly maybe see it tonight, maybe, and then maybe tomorrow. But then again, tomorrow I have work, and yeah, so that's not really gonna be possible tomorrow. Even though I only work 6 hours a day or less, I'm not full time, part time, which is what I wanted for the time being. Let's see. Let's continue on. Dan Stein says, "What do you think of Nostalgia Tards?" Well, thing is, when it comes to nostalgia tarts, I guess you can say, is that like I understand why some of them will maybe say be upset about like new things coming on or. Or I guess you're talking about the people who are like, I remember the old days where things were not like this and things were like this and yada yada yada. I mean, I guess I can understand it. There's nothing wrong with it. If anything, it's mainly just there's some people who I guess you could say take it just a bit too far. Kind of like these 90s kids, 90s babies, or whatever you call them. Like every time, say Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or Disney Channel posts something new saying, oh, we have a new show coming up. They're like, oh, why don't you just go ahead and air some of the older cartoons and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, I understand where their outrage is, but they gotta realize it doesn't work like that. Like you can't just air old cartoons over and over and over and over again and expect to get a lot of views. Because, I mean, it would sound good. Maybe they could post like a library of these cartoons online or something. Maybe have it on Netflix or something. I don't know. But but unfortunately, that's not how a business works. For television, they have to continuously bring new content. Even though there are some channels out there that do post, well, not post, but they do kind of air some older content, and mainly just older content, or only the older content that they used to have on TV. And sometimes that does well, but that also, it depends. I mean, like if they want to have a big audience or whatever, then you can only really do so much when it comes to airing the old stuff. As they say, out with the old and with the new. Unfortunately sometimes. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. But again, Nostalgia Tards. If you, I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't really talk about people like that often, so I don't have a huge opinion, I guess you could say. So yeah, let me answer some other questions. Minchi Guev. I'm sorry if I say any of your names wrong. Minchi Guavar. It's probably rolled R. I'm not gonna do it now, but says hello or hello. Plum Show host says, huh, because I've definitely been doing job applications and I rarely haven't gotten a call yet. How now? I'm pretty sure Plum Show host. You're probably wondering how I got my job. If you want to know, I would recommend, and this is only because I've gotten a pretty good experience from it, but I definitely would say that I recommend doing workpop.com. That I think like the website, at least because I've done like multiple websites. I've done monster.com. I did indeed.com. I did there was another one. Shoot. I don't remember. It was a third one. It wasn't no. I don't fully remember. Was job I forgot. But I did like 3 of those and I've been doing applications and I've sent in like I don't know how many applications I sent in with those 3 websites. And I've gotten a couple of interviews, but never really got a call back. But I did. My mom recently, told me about this place called Work Pop, and she was telling me about, oh, there's this place called Mendocino Farms. They're looking for people to, cook there and yada yada yada. You don't fully need experience, but it is qualified and all that stuff. And so I did go on Work Pop, and honestly, I do think that that's my favorite website. For looking for jobs and applying because the format of the website is really good, and also you have people who work there, like say people who hire you or like maybe the managers or bosses, they will also use that site. And if you apply, if they really want to see you like any time of the week or whatever, they will invite you over to, the location for an interview. But not only that, but they'll also message you through that website, especially if you signed up for the website. Which most likely, if you're going to apply for a job, you kind of do have to sign up with the for the website, and it's free to do that. But they'll message you, and you can talk with them and all that kind of stuff, and you'll meet up with them, get a job interview, and if they like you, they'll hire you. What happened with me is that I applied for Mendocino Farms, the place I'm currently working at right now, and the person contacted me through the website and told me that they would like to see me. They would like to interview me, and so we worked out a day that I was available to come up to their facilities and to their restaurant and interview. And the way the interview went was that we sat somewhere in the dining area, and we kind of talked about my experience doing culinary school and all that kind of stuff. And she was probably one of the most kindest people that I've met in terms of interviewees and stuff. Like, not everybody, not saying that everyone was rude or whatever, but she just gave off this really good vibe that she was just kind. She was very easy to talk to, and you could like somewhat relate to her already. I guess it kind of just hit off because she gave me like the full menu so I could go through the menu and basically see what they have and what I might like. And first of all, another thing is they gave me a free drink during the interview, and they also gave me free lunch. They gave me free lunch. I got to eat one of their sandwiches before I got hired. Yeah, and she hired me on the spot. That's another thing. Sometimes that happens and sometimes that doesn't. Sometimes you'll get called back for, say, maybe a second interview, and then they'll tell you whether they like you or whether, hey, we'll call you to see if we want to hire you, whatever. But then there's times when you get hired on the spot. Now, that's happened to me once before. I applied to this theme park in California called Knott's Berry Farm. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know about it. You probably don't. But basically, I'll continue talking while I take care of something. But basically, I went over to apply over there, and what you got to do is you apply, and you have to go over there. They don't invite you. You have to go over there and basically be interviewed. And if they like you, which they most likely will, they will invite you for... Well, actually, it's required. If you had the first... what? Is it required? No. I think some people, they only get the first interview, but then there's some people, if they like you, they'll give you a second interview. And the second interview for them, which was a very interesting one, is that they basically kind of do a group interview. And so the way they do that is they have, say, maybe 3 or 4 other people with you, and they'll kind of like ask you questions. I guess in a way what they're trying to do is see how you guys would work as a team. And so that's another way that they do the interview. You kind of play a little bit of like games and try to see how you work with others, and if you're a leader, if you're like the team player or whatever. It was very interesting. And so I ended up getting hired on the spot after doing the second interview. The problem is, and I've mentioned this before, but the problem that happened was that I needed my food handler's card, and my food handler's card... Just got a text. Did I get paid? Yeah, no. Wait, I don't... Okay, I think I got paid. All right. Anyway, yeah, that was random. But, yeah, because I do direct deposit with my job. Nice. But yeah, as I was saying, when you work in a kitchen, whether you're prepping food or you're on as a line cook or whatever, you have to have a food handler's card that basically shows them that you learned about sanitation, you learned about not contaminating food, yada yada yada, all that good stuff. To keep the restaurant safe and to keep everyone basically safe working there. And the people eating there, of course. You don't want to possibly give people salmonella if you accidentally put like raw chicken right next to vegetables and stuff. Like that's But anyway, so basically, I had my food handler's card, but the name on the food handler's card was wrong, and this is the funny part. My full name is Joshua Boyd Williams. What they had on the card was Joshua Box Williams. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. That was literally what they had on the They had that on my food handler's card, and I didn't know that until I went over there to basically sign out the papers and give them the food handler's card to officially sign up and start working there. But then they told me that the name was wrong, and that was kind of embarrassing. Like, it was kind of embarrassing. But Joshua Box Williams, what the hell? But yeah, that's what happened, and so I wasn't able to work there. I could have still worked there. I'm gonna take my jacket off. It is a little toasty in here, actually. But yeah, I couldn't work there, unfortunately. I mean, well, no, I could have worked there, but me trying to fix the food handler's card, the name change situation was needlessly complicated. Like, it was extremely complicated. And for what? I don't know, but it was... the whole thing was just freaking ridiculous. But eventually it got taken care of, and then it's gotten to the point where I didn't really want to work there anymore anyway. And partially it was not because of, I don't like Knott's Berry Farm. It was a couple of reasons. One, at the time I got hired, my mom... we only still had one car, and my mom, so we would share a car every now and then. And now my mom has another car, and I'm driving her old car. I don't fully own it. She still owns it. She's still paying for it. Eventually, I would like to start paying for the car, so eventually it would fully be mine and everything. Hopefully that'll happen with whatever work I happen to get within the near future. But yeah, so that was one of the issues, is that transportation wasn't always going to be very easy. Second was that I was going to be working at a theme park, and I was going to be practically stuck in the back of the kitchen all day. And so a part of me was like, if I'm working in a theme park, I actually want to be in the theme park working there. In terms of, I want to kind of walk around the park possibly, or be... not really sweeping, but I don't think I would have minded that. But I would have liked to done some ride operator stuff, or maybe have done some of the character things or whatever. That was the kind of thing I wanted to do, especially at a theme park. Like, if I were to work in Disneyland, I would like to be maybe like one of the performers, definitely, and maybe one of the ride operators there as well. I would have liked to have done one of those, but I would not want to have wanted to be working at a theme park and just being inside of a room behind the scenes all day. Like, that wouldn't have set well with me. Let's see. Yeah, that was mainly the main two reasons, and so that's why I haven't worked there. But now I'm working at Montesino Farms, and it's been a good experience so far. Honestly, I mean, even when I've had some troubled times in terms of, like, I just wasn't feeling it. Like, it was like, there's some days where I'm like, ugh, I want to go home. I'm tired. You get that all the time, especially with the work I'm doing. I'm on my feet almost like for the entire 6 hours. I don't really get... I mean, I get a 30-minute break, so I sit down and I eat lunch, and most lunch items are free for workers, which is good. The managers and the bosses are so nice, and they try so hard to make the employees happy, and that's something I really appreciate. So yeah, it's been a very, very good experience, and I'm honestly happy I got this job. Hopefully I can get out of this job in terms of finding something better, in terms of not saying I don't like this job. I'm just talking about, like, if my acting career happens to, go off, or not really go off, but I happen to start doing some things like maybe a small role in a television show for now, or a commercial, or whatever, yada yada yada. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but because I have an agent and because I'm signed up with some casting networks and stuff, who knows what's gonna happen? But I'm excited. But yeah, let me go back to answering some of your questions, and I got the chat up here finally, so that's good. Let's see. Let me go back to. Menchie asked me, "Do you like fan fictions?" I did. I used to read a lot of fan fictions, like South Park. Mainly fan fictions based on cartoons I'd watch. And some of them would just be so freaking hilarious. Or for me, when I think it was in middle school or early high school, one of those. I started reading like South Park fan fictions, and like there'd be a couple of them where it would be like these, because almost always in these fan fictions, they're always gonna, like, especially with South Park, they're always gonna pair the main four characters with each other, like Stan with Kyle, or Kyle Cartman and Kenny Cartman Stan a couple of times. I would read those just because they would be so freaking hilarious to me. Like, it would just be, I'd be laughing almost all the time reading those stories. It'd be like, it's so awkward, but it's hilarious to me. I don't I don't watch anything. I don't read fan fictions as much as I do anymore. But yeah, fan fictions are okay, except, there's a couple of them that kind of go out there, and it's kind of like, okay, it's a little bit too much. Might want to stop, But yeah. Jacob York says, "Do you like Family Guy?" I used to, but I haven't really watched Family Guy a lot lately. I have I haven't really liked it as much anymore. It's not really interesting to me anymore, to be honest with you. Just haven't been watching it, because there was a time where I did not like the show anymore. But it's I don't know. Maybe one day I'll try to watch an episode of the more recent episodes of Family Guy and see if it's still my kind of thing. To be, like, quite honest with you, I literally have absolutely no idea. Okay, let's see. Next question. Menchie asked, "Do you like Minions?" Unpopular opinion, yeah. I don't mind Minions. I know there's a ton of people that do not like the Minions, which is understandable, because I can totally see as to how they are considered annoying. But yeah, I don't mind the Minions at all, to be honest. Unless you were talking about the movie. If you're talking about the movie, I saw the movie, and at the time I did like it, to be honest. But I don't know if the opinion would have changed now, because I've only seen it once. Can't say I'm interested in watching it again. So yeah. Let's see. What's the name? Paraptha. What? Parapatha? I'm sorry, I can't say your name. 340 says, "Hey, how you doing?" Plum Show Host says, "Well, I have Indeed. Is that the same?" Well, yeah, Indeed is the same. Indeed.com. Most of these work websites where you can find work, most of them are the same, but to be honest, some of them are better than others. So, as I said, you could, if you want to try to find a job, I do recommend doing WorkPop, because again, these managers do tend to communicate with people, and so I think that's kind of what makes some things better. And this is just from my personal experience with them. So I don't know. Honestly, you can try whatever website you like in terms of trying to find a job. Another tip that I will give you is keep applying. Like, apply as many times as you can to as many jobs as you can, and eventually you'll get a interview. And not only that, but eventually someone will hire you, and you'll get a job. So that's kind of all I can really say at this point. Because I don't have the magic number or the magic what? I don't have the magic touch when it comes to that because I was struggling for a while to get a job. I remember I was so close to getting a job at PF Chang's because I wanted to do some stir fry cooking. And I interviewed with them twice, and so they seemed to like me. And they said, "Well, we'll call you and we'll see if you because they were talking about whether I'd be available or what times they would have me working, and that there was somebody that was leaving the job as well, and so that would have been a position open for me. But each time I kept calling them, and they would always refer me back to one of the managers, and then they would say, "Oh, we'll call you back," yada yada yada, and then it was gotten to the point where I was like, "Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna give up. All right, it's done. It's over." So yeah. But again, it all worked out in the end. Got this good job now, so yeah. Okay, so Dan Stein says there is a kid in my school who thinks he was born in the 80s, but he was born in 2005 because he is 13 years old and he thinks we are in 1988, but it's 2018. Okay, I mean, if he wants to live in this fantasy land, I guess. I, I don't know what to say to that. It's so weird. He thinks he's born in the 80s, but he's only 13 years. That is so weird. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Time to move on. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say to that. It's. I don't know. I got no response. It's interesting. Anyway. Northwestern Railway 66, you're on time. Yes, you're finally on time. How you doing? But you gotta leave somewhere in a few. All right, well, you're here and now you're gone. So, I mean, I talk with you on Facebook anyway, so it's all good. Yeah, Plump Show host says I have done interviews, but I'm mostly trying to sign up from mornings to afternoons. I still haven't learned how to miss anything while it's being recorded. Okay. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from in terms of the interview. Well, not in terms of the interview, but in terms of work. Because I tend to try to get morning shifts to afternoon shifts. I try not to get night shifts, but that does not always work in your favor sometimes. When I go back to work tomorrow, I work at 3 o'clock, and my shift ends at 9 p.m. And that wouldn't be bad, but I'm all the way in Hawthorne, while my job is all the way in Santa Monica. By me driving, that's about 30 minutes, but I don't drive. I mean, I drive to like a metro station, and then I take the train all the way to Santa Monica. Because it's honestly just easier and much more convenient for me to do that, because I avoid the traffic of Santa Monica. Santa Monica traffic during rush hour is terrible. It'll take me sometimes like almost 2 hours to get home from Santa Monica if I'm driving there. That's how bad it is. And sometimes, excuse me, what was it that I was gonna mention? Oh yeah, not only that, but the parking in Santa Monica is expensive. If you want to park in one of the parking lots, you're most likely going to be spending over $20. And so I'm not going to be doing that every single time I'm going to Santa Monica. I pay $3 for parking for the metro, which is honestly, like, it doesn't even put a dent in my pocket, so it doesn't really even matter. So again, I found out something that works. Not only that, a good thing about Santa Monica is that they have these scooters that you can, electric scooters. You have to like download an app. It's called like Bird Scooters, I think. And basically, what you do is that you download the app. You put like some information, like your credit card, your driver's license, and yada yada yada. And basically, all you do is you scan the scooter. The scooter has like a barcode. You scan it, and then if it's available, which it most likely will be, then it will allow you to unlock the scooter. And so basically the first minute I think is like $1, or I think no, I think just booking the scooter in general is $1, and each minute after that is about like 75 cents. which honestly doesn't add up to a lot of money anyway. So most of my trips only cost me about like $2, and so that's nothing to complain about when you really think about it. So after I get off the train, I take the scooter sometimes, or I'll just take the bus, depending on the bus takes too long or if the bus is almost there to the bus stop already. I'll basically take um, a Uber. No, what am I talking about? I'll take the scooter and I'll basically scoot all the way up to work because it's not all the way that far from it's not far from work from the train station. Yeah. I'll be right back very quick. I'm just gonna get some water and I'll continue on asking questions. So yeah. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey, Jerry. Hey, little Jerry. Boo-boo. Okay, I'm coming back. Coming back. Okay. Apologize for that, guys. I had the case of the hiccups and my throat was kind of getting a little dry. So, yeah, let's continue. Am I out of focus? No, I'm in focus. All right, cool. So, let's continue on with what we were saying. Randomized video said sup, and then he said, see you later, my duty. Okay. Yeah. Nicholas Jackson says, what do you think of the rappers of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar? I don't really listen to J. Cole, but I've heard a couple of his songs, and I think he's alright. Same with Kendrick Lamar. Don't really listen to a lot of his songs, but there are a couple of songs that I do like from him, and so I think he's good. Northwestern Railway, if you're still here, says, what do you think of people whining about the Thundercats reboot and the Cal art style? This is one. So, what do I think about that? I'm not quite sure why they're saying it's Cal art style. That's a little confusing to me. I am a little bit out of focus for some reason. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I don't really get why people have been making those comments saying, "Hey, it's Cal art style." I really don't get it. And then people, start saying, "Oh, they're bringing back a reboot of this," and they're basically kind of making like shitty drawings of some of these cartoons and whatnot. And like, I think the whole thing is just getting ridiculous. Like, I can understand why people are getting upset because like it's kind of, well, it's, I wouldn't want to say it's kind of the same like Teen Titans Go, but in a way I guess you can say it's somewhat similar because here you are taking a show, that's kind of been established a couple of times and it has like a certain feel to it and whatnot, and now you're bringing the show back again, but it's kind of completely different. It's got a new cartoon style, and it seems like it's leaning more towards comedy more than it goes towards action or more towards dark or whatever. Um, and again, I don't really have a full opinion on this because I never really watched Thundercats. I never really got into Thundercats, so this doesn't hurt me as much as it hurts more the fans of the Thundercats franchise. But I don't know. I mean, like, for all I know, it could be one out of two things. One, this show could end up being terrible. It could be a complete same thing as Teen Titans Go, just another bad show, then whatever. And two, it could very much well be enjoyable. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But, I It's hard to explain. I really don't know. But again, I never watched Thundercats. Never really got into it, so I don't fully have a opinion about the Thundercats reboot and about how it's doing, or whatever. I don't really care. Speaking of the reboot, well, not well, it actually isn't about the reboot, but since I was mentioning Teen Titans Go, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been hearing about this, and maybe you guys haven't. Everybody already knows that the movie is coming out, and I'm watching. First of all, I'm watching this Pokemon series that's on Disney XD, and literally for like the past 30 seconds, they've been on the beach and they're showing their feet with the ocean. Why did they do that? Like they were talking with each other, but they were just showing the characters' feet on the beach for like 30 seconds. What the hell? That so weird. I don't get it. Anyway, but and it was that one continuous shot for about 30 seconds. It was the weirdest thing. Anyway, it was kind of just random, but yeah, it was, I got the TV on and everything, so I'm kind of, yeah. But as everyone knows, Teen Titans Go is getting a movie coming out. Is it coming out in July? I think it's coming out in July. Teen Titans Go movie. Oh, and I never did a trailer reaction to that. I was thinking about doing a trailer reaction to the movie, but I never did it. Because I think for me right now, I'm honestly kind of just like tired of talking about Teen Titans Go. Because I mean, especially since everyone else is constantly talking about Teen Titans Go as well on their channels. Like Volsky Bum, whatever, Volsky Bum's channel, he constantly talks about Teen Titans Go. Phantom Striker, I think he also talks about Teen Titans Go a lot. And so I just don't want to be that kind of channel that says, oh, I'm a cartoon reviewer or something, but then I'm constantly talking about how I hate Teen Titans Go or how Teen Titans Go do this and yada yada yada. I just don't want to be that channel. Yes, I know it gets views, but still, I don't want to talk about Teen Titans Go over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's just like, if you know I hate it, I hate it. I don't need to constantly talk about it over and over again. So that's all I gotta say. And I'm not hating on any channel that does that. I'm just saying I don't want to be like that. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so Teen Titans Go is coming out in the theaters July 27th. So that's why I thought in July. So basically, there's this whole rumor that's going on. Tara Strong apparently tweeted about how if this movie does good in the theaters, they will bring back season 6. And so I guess obviously that got people excited because that meant, season 6 of Teen Titans is going to be coming back and yada yada yada. But how many seasons of Teen Titans Go do we have in particular? Because in a way it was pretty vague. And I did see a post about this on where I saw a post about this on this Facebook page that I follow called The Rise and Fall of Nickelodeon. And so they kind of post a lot of things about, things that are happening at Nickelodeon or things that are happening on Cartoon Network or things that possibly are happening at Disney Channel. Even though Disney Channel is completely, not even interesting as much anymore. Now, speaking of which, I'm going to go back to Teen Titans Go in a second, but speaking of Disney Channel, I heard that they are possibly going to, I hear that they are possibly going to be airing some of the cartoons that are on Disney XD and move them towards Disney Channel. Like Star vs. the Forces of Evil is rumored to start airing on Disney Channel, new episodes. And I think DuckTales is rumored to start airing new episodes on Disney Channel. Not only that, but Disney Channel is getting 2 new cartoons. So honestly, I'm pretty happy about that because at the very least, that means that cartoons are coming back to Disney Channel. Because Disney Channel has not had cartoons for a long time, and their lineup has just been consistently of crappy sitcoms. Like, I hate to say that, but and maybe I'm saying that because it's not my age range or whatever. I don't freaking know. But that's all they've been doing is basically sitcom after sitcom after sitcom after sitcom, and Nickelodeon's kind of been doing the same thing with their live action lineup. Sitcom after sitcom after sitcom after sitcom. And it's like, okay, can we stop with the sitcoms? I get that they're cheaper. I think they're cheaper to make than these one camera comedies. And if you want to know what I mean by one camera, basically they don't particularly use one camera. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't particularly use one camera. I guess it kind of just gives off the impression that they are using one. I don't know how to explain it. When you do multicam in sitcoms, basically, it's kind of just that, multicam. And so if they're shooting a scene, you'll most likely be watching the scene as shot by all four cameras. And so it's basically that one recording of it, in a way, I guess. Or that's kind of the gist of it, but that's not 100% what it means. Whereas if it's single cam, it's, I don't really fully know how to explain it. But I guess you know what I mean, truly, is that, single cam sitcoms are the ones where there's no laugh track, I guess. And they kind of just seem more real. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. I should know this stuff. I'm an actor. I learned about this. I mean, I know it. I just can't really explain it all that well. But going back to what I was saying, Disney Channel have been doing the sitcoms and yada, yada, yada. So that's, as far as now, I think Titans Go fully started airing new episodes as of now. But from what I know, a fifth season has been, basically, they already been renewed for a fifth season. And I believe it is starting to air sometime this month during Cartoon Network's Best Summer Ever thing. So, yeah, pretty much. So, they have season 5, which is going to start in June 27th of 2018, this year. So, basically, as far as we know, it hasn't been renewed for season 6 yet. So Tara Strong mentioned that, they're going to be possibly renewing us for season 6 if the movie does good in the theaters. So a lot of people were speculating, even I was speculating, that they were talking about bringing back the original Teen Titans and doing their season 6. However, this could very, very well mean that if the movie does well, they'll do a season 6 for Teen Titans Go, not the original Teen Titans series. So that's, the whole thing when it comes up to that. And so if that's truly what's going to happen, I will have to say, honestly, that is kind of a scummy thing for Tara Strong to do, to go ahead and try to hype up the movie just so they can, just so you can get the fans of the original series to get excited and possibly make the movie do well, just to go ahead and have the Teen Titans Go series to end up getting a season 6. So yeah, that would suck if that were to be the case, but honestly, none of us know at this point, so we don't know whether it is going to be a season 6 for the original, or if it's going to be season 6 for Teen Titans Go. We have no idea, because as far as I know, they have not been renewed for a season 6 just yet. So we'll see. That's the only thing I can say, is we'll definitely see when it comes to that. So that's basically all I have to say for that. Let's go back to some of the questions that you guys have. Dan Stein says, what do you think of the Land Before Time movies other than the first movie? I have to be honest, I think I've only seen the first movie. No, I think I've seen a couple of others. I have to be honest, I haven't seen them in so long, so I don't really remember a ton about these Land Before Time movies. I do remember enjoying them. That's all I can say. But I don't fully remember a ton about these movies. So there's that. Nicholas Jackson asks, I'm 15, and when I'm older, I want to make cartoons. Are you interested in knowing about what one of my cartoons is about? Yeah, sure. You could definitely post what you're talking about in the comments, and I'll possibly read it. Well, not possibly. I most likely will. I don't skip comments unless it's crazy. Anyway, Jacob York says, "Have you seen Drawn Together?" No, I haven't seen that. I've heard about it. It looks crazy. Christian Bennett, hey, how you doing? Says, speaking of reboots, what is your opinion on the DuckTales 2017 reboot? I haven't seen a lot of the DuckTales reboot, but from what I have seen, it looks pretty enjoyable. It looks pretty good. I happen to have enjoyed the episodes that I've seen. Um, and I don't. I'm sure a lot of people don't mind the new voice actors for the for what the hell for the triplets. I'm not even gonna try to say their names, but um I'm sure a lot of people probably don't mind the new voices for them now. I never really mind them to begin with. It was a little shocking to see that they were going that route, but I do like that they have different voices now. Instead of basically having a squeakier version of Donald Duck. So yeah, even though it's interesting that they sound more like adults, I guess, than they do kids, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Um, and let's see what else. North and Western Railway say yes. I'm honestly curious to see how that. Yeah. Jason says I like the weird, experimental, badass, and crazy cartoons in the 80s, 90s, sometimes in the 2000s. Yeah, some of them those tend to be pretty cool. Triggered Paul Joseph Watson says, "Hey, I haven't watched your channel in a while, and so I thought I would stop by. Hey, glad you stopped by. Hopefully, you're still here." Uh, Plum Shoho says, well, me and a pal of mine made a second rant about that and how online streaming giving cables a run for their money is hurting Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon. At least Disney Channel, however, is getting some of the XD cartoons. However, I'm not looking forward to what I consider one of the worst cartoons, Gravity Falls. I know that's harsh of me to say that. That's interesting. I haven't seen a lot of people have a lot of content. I don't think that's the correct word for Gravity Falls, so that's a new one. But if you don't like it, that's fine. If you do like it, that's also cool. I liked the cartoon. I don't tend to watch it as much, but yeah, I'd say it's a good cartoon for me at least. Jacob York, you are never too old for cartoons. Cartoons are for everybody, no matter what age you are. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people always say, they're for kids and yada yada yada. It's like, no, most forms of media is for anyone unless it's sexually explicit. Then obviously kids can't watch it. But that it is what it is. Northwestern Railway says Greg Sipes, the voice of Beast Boy, actually backed this up on Twitter and said she actually meant the OG Titans, but I still don't buy it. Yeah, I think I've heard that he mentioned that he backed it up. That's true. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, would that actually be something that could and would happen? I mean, like when you think about it, they do have the original voice actors, so I guess that would be a possibility. I don't think I've seen something like that happen before, but then again, maybe it has. I'm not 100% sure. Well, the thing that comes up to mind is Futurama, but I don't know how far of a break they had when it came to continuing on with the series or whatever. Um, but yeah. Dan Stein says, "What do you think of Guardians of the Galaxies?" Of the Galaxy, not Galaxies. I haven't watched any of the movies. Can't say I was really all that interested. I'm not really someone that's fully interested in Marvel movies or superhero movies or anything. Though, doesn't mean I don't like them. Because I do tend to enjoy most of the movies I've seen made from Marvel or most of the superhero movies I've seen. I'm just not someone that kind of flocks to them, I guess you can say. So that's kind of interesting. And as far as I know, this is my last question that I have for now. And that is, Jacob York says, "Do you like Phineas and Ferb?" Yes, I do. I have been watching Phineas and Ferb a lot recently, um, which is kind of interesting because they're airing it on Disney XD. I remember like at first when it first aired, I liked it, and then like I think near the middle, I started to lose interest in Phineas and Ferb for a while because it was like, oh, it's the same thing as yada yada yada. But now as I got older, I started watching it again, and I started noticing certain jokes that they do. They kind of tend to break the fourth wall almost like all the time, and it's so much funnier when you realize that. And ooh, wow, kind of, yeah, but yeah. So it was kind of like interesting how like I just kind of realized certain things within the cartoon. It kind of just makes it a lot funnier. And not only that, but I think once you get older, you kind of understand some of those jokes. It's not that the jokes are sexual or anything. They don't do that in Phineas and Ferb, but they've made a lot of like of those again break the fourth wall type of jokes. And or it seems like sometimes the show is very self aware of itself, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of their episodes now recently. Plum Show host says I've lost track of. Oh no, no, the first no, it was Northwestern Railway. Sorry about that. Northwestern says, speaking of Phineas and Ferb, I just wish Milo Murphy's Law wasn't underrated. I haven't watched a lot of Milo Murphy's Law, so I don't fully know how that show is. I've seen a couple of episodes and it seems fine. Um, so yeah, so yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I do think for what it is, it's good. I haven't been fully pulled in to watch more episodes, but I do like it for what I've seen of it. Okay, now on to Plum Show host comment. I've lost track of how many remakes or spin-offs there has been. Is anything original anymore? I mean, you ain't wrong about that. You're not wrong about that. And do I have the hiccups again? Yes, I do. Fuck my life. Anyway, yeah. So that's true. There's not really a ton of original content, unfortunately. But hey, I guess that's how it is. Um, Jacob York. Yeah, season 4 of Phineas and Ferb was okay. The first 3 were great. Um, I think I've seen a couple of episodes of season 4. I just watch episodes and I don't fully remember which episodes are in which season. I just know which year they come out. And then Plum Show host says, though I did hear Double Dare is returning to Nickelodeon soon. Yes, with a YouTuber as its host. I think that's that's the show, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's gonna be interesting. Never watched Double Dare. I don't think it was even on when I was a kid. Shit, I have. Yeah. I'll be back again. Gotta take care of these goddamn hiccups that come out every freaking time. It is so irritating. Again? Again, I'll be right back. Hey, dearie. Okay. I think they're gone. I honestly don't know. These hiccups always come and go. Nope, they're still there. Fuck's sake, bro. Anyway, I think I'll just go through it. Nan Stein says people have been freaking out over a new nighttime show at Epcot saying that it has too many intellectual properties. Do you think the freaking out is justified or is it unnecessary? Yeah, explain which new nighttime show you're talking about. Because I haven't heard much about Epcot, which if you guys don't know, these hiccups, man, they irritate the crap out of me. You're probably gonna see me just sitting here for 20 seconds, saying nothing until they're gone. So yeah, I'll type something in the chat for a quick second. Okay, it's gone. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, I haven't heard of a new nighttime show at Epcot. Um, I will say that at Epcot they did have a show called Illuminations, I think, and that was one of my favorite nighttime shows at Disney World. When I went there, I would almost every single time I go to Disney World, which I have not been into Disney World ever since 2010. That was the last time I've been there, and almost every time we'd go, we'd always go to Epcot. Epcot or Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is one of my favorites. One of my favorite places to go. Now, I will mention about the thing about having too many intellectual properties and stuff, or Illuminations, Reflections of Earth. Is that a new show? Hold on, let me look that up actually because I remember watching a show with um let me see, Illuminations. Maybe I'm talking about a different show, or maybe it is. Let's see, how long has that one been there? No, Illuminations has been there ever since September 23rd, 1999. I think. Unless Illuminations is going to be another one. Yeah, so Illuminations has been there for a while, so I don't think that one is new. Because I remember seeing Illuminations when I went to Epcot. And what I remember about Illuminations is that I don't remember them being a lot of intellectual properties within that show. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I can't fully say that I remember. Because again, it's been like almost 10 years. It's been 8 years so far, ever since I've been to Epcot or Disney World in general. So, yeah, but I don't think Illuminations Reflections of Earth has a lot of intellectual properties, unless not that I'm aware of. Maybe it does. I can't say that I remember. Yeah, that's what I thought. But anyway, with the intellectual property situation, there is one thing I do have to mention when it comes to Disney is that I do think that Disney is definitely filling a lot of their parks or a lot of stuff that they're doing now with their own intellectual properties. And even though they tend to do that pretty well, it is kind of somewhat of an issue with some people, which I can't blame them for. Like say for instance, Disneyland. We well, let's not talk about Disneyland. Well, yeah, let's talk about Disneyland because they are having a new land being built, which opens next year. They are building a Star Wars land, which is a land completely about Star Wars. You know, you have the other parts of the park, which is New Orleans Square, Adventureland, almost said Fortnite Land. What the fuck? Frontierland, Fantasyland, Toontown. USA, even Tom Sawyer's Island, you can consider that as a separate land as well. And of course, when the app just shuts down on me. Of course, because that's just my freaking luck. Anyway, but as I was saying before it shut me off, which I might have to end the stream at some point. I don't know, but yeah, you got all these other lands that's not, surrounded by a certain IP of Disney. They just happen to have, some rides based off of an IP, which is fine, or some rides that are just based off of a certain idea, or whatever. But now you got Star Wars, which is completely an IP park, as some probably would call it. And then you go over to California Adventure, where they had Tower of Terror. And Tower of Terror was now completely remodeled to Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, or Mission Escape, whatever the hell it's called. And that's now an IP ride. And then you have Paradise Pier. Paradise Pier, the kind of the essential of California and yada yada yada. Now that's being turned into Pixar Pier, which is another intellectual property. And so when it comes to Disney and the whole intellectual properties situation, I can understand why people are seemingly kind of, I guess you could say, freaking out over this, because Disney didn't used to be filled with a lot of intellectual property type of themed lands, I guess you can say. And so now it kind of seems like it's somewhat taking over. They're not coming up with new lands where it's like based on a certain theme. They're not doing that anymore. It's based off of a movie, or it's based off of a lot of movies or anything like that. And so I can totally understand as to why people are getting, kind of freaking out about that. And speaking of Disneyland, I was supposed to go to Disneyland for my birthday, which is this Sunday. But I couldn't find anyone to go with, and so I'm not going alone, so that's just not going to happen. I'll go later on, either this year or next year. If I go next year, I'm definitely going to try to go before the Star Wars land opens, because holy crap, that is going to be terrible in terms of crowds. Like, you have no idea. Anyway, so, continuing on, Plum Show Host says, I do like the new firework show at Magic Kingdom called Happily Ever After. I think I've seen the video of that, and it does look pretty good. Disney does pretty well when it comes to their firework shows. One of my favorite nighttime shows at Disneyland, to be honest, is Fantasmic. And I've seen both Fantasmic at Walt Disney World, at their Magic Kingdom. I mean, not at Magic Kingdom. At, what do they call it? Hollywood Studios, I think? Disney Hollywood Studios. Yeah, I've seen it there, and I've seen it, at Disneyland. And if I gotta be honest, I like the Disneyland version a lot better. Even though the one at Walt Disney World is good, I just like the Disneyland one better, to be honest with you. Mainly because of some of the new scenes they had, but even without the new scenes that they've added with the original show that they've had for a long time, I really just enjoy that better than what they have at Walt Disney World. And the biggest factor, not the only factor, but the biggest factor of that, I would have to say, is because of the freaking, I think it's more than 50 feet, I don't know, but the big-ass dragon that we have in California. The dragon that they have in Walt Disney World is still kind of like the old model that we used to have in Disney California Adventure. I mean, in Disneyland. But now we have like this 50-foot tall dragon that comes out of the stage, and it breathes fire. And that's just freaking awesome, bro. Like, it's... wow. Yeah. I also like their show World of Color. It's pretty cool. One of my favorite parts of World of Color is the Pirates of the Caribbean part. And the biggest reason why is because at the end of that segment, they have like this huge puff of fire that like, because they do, well, during Pirates of the Caribbean, they do have like these fire jets, I guess, that kind of come out. And they kind of just like puff a lot of fire, and that kind of adds like a cool element with the water fountains and everything. But then at the end of it, they like puff out this huge puff of fire that just soars up to like, I think about almost 200 feet or 180 feet in the air or something. And it's just like, oh, it's a huge wow factor. Didn't get to see it in person because when I went there, to see World of Color, that element wasn't in there, but it's in there now, and so hopefully when I do eventually go back to California Adventure, I'll see that. It depends. And so, yeah. And I have not been to Disneyland. Well, no, 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 no. Okay, so, fucking, okay, you know what? I'm gonna end the stream very soon because now the app is just constantly breaking down. I'm so irritated. But anyway, as I was saying, is that I went to Disneyland during Pixar Fest. That was last month. But the friends that I went, Javon and his girl, whatever. Yeah, Javon and his girlfriend. Basically, they had to go earlier because their parents wanted them home early and stuff like that. And so I originally was going to go to no, I originally was gonna just stay with Disney, stay at Disney and have them go home so I can see the fireworks. But I was like, nah, I just don't want to go to be at Disneyland by myself, and so, I ended up taking them home and yada yada yada. And so I still can have the chance to see the Pixar fireworks show this year. I just don't know when that's gonna be. And if I don't go back in the summer, then I could just very easily see it on YouTube. Like, it's not a big deal. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to answer the remaining questions as quick as possible, because this app just keeps breaking up and is kind of irritating me. I don't know. I don't know. I might have it stay on for a bit longer, and then I might not. If it happens a third time, I'm ending it after I reconnect again. Anyway, let's continue on with. Yeah, that's what I thought. Illuminations was in 1999, and so ever since then, I think for Epcot they are getting a new nighttime show, but I don't know when that's gonna be. Not 100% sure about that. Let's see. Plum Show host says funny universe of energy at Epcot is getting replaced by a Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Yes, it is. I liked Universe of Energy, even though the ride was okay, to be honest with you. And it was very, very outdated. But I did like they didn't put the Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Epcot, especially since Epcot is supposed to be, the park for like the future and yada yada yada. Just seems like that's definitely not happening now, but it is what it is, can't change it now. Yeah. We're continuing. And she says, do you like regular show? Yeah, I do like regular show. I started to not really watch the show as often during its later seasons. But yeah, I do like the show. Jacob Yours says, have you played Mario Kart for the Nintendo Wii? Only once, because I don't have the Nintendo Wii, but someone that I knew did, and I played it, and I was terrible at it. I tried doing... My mistake was doing Rainbow Road, and you know how insane that freaking level is, so... Yeah, but I did terrible at that level, and I was, like, I lost completely, like, oh my god. Give me Mario Kart on DSi or whatever, that's fine, but the Wii, I gotta get used to that. Mr. Pat55 says, do you watch T-Pendle's videos? They are really funny. I've never heard of them, actually. I might look them up. Nicholas Jackson says, okay, so my future cartoon is called The Comedic Ways of Jackson Bear Cub. I'm gonna have to post this in separate parts because the stupid comment limits me to only 200 letters and spaces. Okay. Mr. Pat says, I don't think you've mentioned anything yet. Mr. Pat 55 says, did you see the My Little Pony movie in theaters? No, I did not, and I was not planning on doing it, and I'm still not really planning on seeing the movie either. It's not that I don't like the series anymore. I've kind of just grown out of it, honestly. So, not really all that interested to watch it. Maybe one day? I don't know. Dan Stein says, speaking of Guardians of Galaxy ride, people are even more angry because Guardians of the Galaxy is replacing Universe of Energy, and it was there since 1982. Hell, I even saw a protester. protester. Of course, it's going to be a protest for almost everything. Yeah, I can understand why people got upset. Even though I don't think a ton of people liked Universe of Energy, or I think they did, but like not a ton of people would ride that ride. I'm not 100% sure when it comes up to that, but I can understand why people get upset. You know, Disney fans, they don't like when things change. Like, trust me, they do not like when things change. Like, you know, when Guardians of the Galaxy ride replaced uh, um, Hollywood crap. Tower of Terror. Yeah, there you go. When they replaced Tower of Terror, or when they were eventually doing that, people hated that. Now the ride's open and everyone loves the ride. You know, it comes the same with sure, it's going to be the same with this. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy is replacing Universe of Energy. Then once that opens, everyone's going to end up loving the show. I mean, end up loving the ride. That's kind of just how it happens. Disney announces the ride's going to change, or it's going to close and make way of something else. People are going to hate it. When it eventually opens, most likely people are going to love the ride. That's just how it goes. So anyway, let's continue. Then she says, do you like Jeremy from Regular Show? Don't remember who Jeremy is, so, I don't know. Nathaniel Foga says, do you feel Peter Rabbit could be good? One of my friends saw it, and he said that he enjoyed it, so, yeah, I think it could be. Or I'm sure, or maybe a better thing to say is, Peter Rabbit is probably a movie that I possibly could enjoy. I honestly don't fully know, but it's possible that I could enjoy that movie. Okay, so continuing with Nicholas Jackson's explanation is, the show is about Jackson Bear Cub, a grizzly bear who is a bit of a trickster at times, charming, and he has a good heart. He created his own sandwich called the Honey Fish Sandwich. Okay, and I'll see what else you post and see what other type of concepts is for the show. Northwestern Railway 66 says, I wanted to see My Little Pony in theaters, but shit happens, but I seen the movie online and it was actually decent and nothing more. Yeah, I figured it would have been decent and that's kind of it, really. What movie is this? Oh, okay. Nathaniel Foga says... shit. Yeah, he says, I saw the Peter Rabbit movie and found it pretty entertaining. I think you could find it somewhat enjoyable. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would. A lot of people who watched that video that I made about the movie, basically reacting to the trailer, thought that I just completely hated the movie without seeing it and stuff like that. I wasn't hating on it. I was just disappointed. That was really all it was. So, okay, I'm kind of lost here. Oh yeah, okay. So Mr. Pat 55 says, "Have you seen Avengers: Infinity Wars?" No, I haven't. Have you seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy movies? No, I haven't. And I didn't know that they were getting a third sequel. It makes sense, though, because, let's be real, it makes money, so why not? You know, it's kind of the same with Black Panther. You know, Black Panther is going to be getting a crap ton of crap. I'm just blanking out for some stupid-ass reason. Anyway, yeah, Black Panther is going to be getting a crap ton of sequels. Obviously, because it made a lot of money at the box office, so why wouldn't they be getting a lot of money? And of course, people were gonna say, "Yay, Black Panther is changing Hollywood for the better" and stuff like that. No, it's not. It's not. Let's not. First of all, Black Panther is not the only one that did an all-black superhero movie. I think the movie is called Blade or Slade, one of those, but it's been out there before. Just hasn't been a lot recently, I guess you can say. But it's not, you know, just because they're having a lot of sequels now. It's not because of it's because the Black Panther and yada yada yada. It's like, no, it's because it made a lot of money. They know it's going to make a lot of money. They know a lot of people are going to see the movie, and so that's exactly why they're making a lot of sequels. Makes sense. That's just kind of how Hollywood works, and Hollywood is a business, and that's how businesses work. If something works, try to make more money off of it. That's literally how things work in business. Anyway, continuing on. Uh, okay. Mind Out of Sync says, "Do you remember In the Hedgehog? I remember you and Donut 1999 made a video on him. Yeah, I remember that freaking troll. It was kind of funny how that was happening and all that kind of shit. I don't remember Donut 1999. I guess that's Do Not 1999. I don't know how you say his name. But I don't remember him making a video off of it, but off of that person. But I definitely remember making like one video. I remember there's this one guy. I forgot what I think it was like Marco something. I don't remember what his name was, but this dude like got so triggered because like I said that I didn't think the iPhone was the best, and he made this ridiculous video, and it was just like, oh my god, it was ridiculous. It was funny. But yeah, it was definitely crazy. Nathaniel Foga, out of all people, I really want to know your thoughts on Peter Rabbit when you see it, with you being a fan of Peter Rabbit and all. Oh yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, so it is possible that I'll be doing a movie review once I see the movie. Not 100% sure, but that is possible. Mr. Pat 55 says, "Are you planning on seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel and Avengers 4?" I gotta be honest, not 100%. I'm not planning on seeing those movies. Because again, not fully interested in Marvel movies, even though I do tend to enjoy the Marvel movies. But I don't really tend to flock to them, so I don't tend to, plan to see those movies, I guess you can say. Nicholas Jackson says, "Everyone in Forestville, the city Jackson lives in, enjoys it, but..." Oh, and this is a continuation of his cartoon thing. Enjoys it, but no, it's not a SpongeBob ripoff. But him and his friend Leo Dog basically do everyday stuff in a very cartoonish and comedic way. Okay, so it sounds like an interesting concept. If you could bring it to life, that'd be pretty cool. Or maybe draw pictures and stuff. Who knows? Lob City 2.0 says, "Hey Josh, hey, how you doing? So unfortunate you got here just now because I am planning on ending the stream soon. I'm not sure how soon, but soon. That's all I can say right now. Hold on, let me just double check something quick. Okay. So Mr. Pat, you asks, "Am I the only one who actually enjoys the Minions prequel film?" Nah, I enjoyed the first Minions film, or the first only Minions film when I was a kid, or when I was younger. I don't know if I'd enjoy it now, because again, I haven't really seen it, but it depends. Michael Owens, aka Koopa. Okay, Koopa Jeffy 3005 says, "Hi Josh, I love your content. Keep up with the amazing work. New fan here, by the way. Glad to see a new fan is here. Thank you so much for joining the stream, and thank you for enjoying my content. I want to make my content a lot better, though. I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's going to happen. If I continue to make a lot of videos, a lot of videos. I don't really know how many videos I'm going to be making, so it depends. So, yeah. And no, did not. Okay. Let's see. Nicholas Jackson says, "I have an episode idea about Jackson trying out for the school football and making the team, and in the first game of the season in which they're losing, but the coach asks him to cheat, and he does, but then he feels guilty and then says openly that he cheated." Okay, so that's the episode idea. Cool. Jacob York says, "Yeah, love your content, Josh. Keep up the great work. Thank you." Since we're here, and I did mention this before. What kind of videos would you like to see? Oh, and I completely missed that question. My bad, Mr. Pat55. I'll get to that very quick. Actually, you know what? I'll do it right now. Do you watch Count Tomatoes videos? No, I do not. I've never heard of them. I guess I'll look them up after the stream. But as I was saying, since I'm here, okay, Jacob already knows what the question was. What kind of videos would you like to see me do on this channel? Or what? Yeah, basically that. What kind of videos would you like to see me do? Because I don't want to just do cartoon reviews anymore. I mean, it's not that I'm going to stop them, but you're going to see a lot less. Well, you've already seen a lot less. I've barely been talking about cartoons anyway, the past year. I mean, I'll continue to do rants, but I guess some of the question would also be is what type of rants would you like to see me do? Like, what kind of things would you like to see me rant about? That kind of stuff. Yeah, depends. Depends on what you guys, suggest. So, if any of you guys possibly have suggestions, put them in the live chat right now so I can possibly, see what kind of ideas that I, might get from your comments. So Jacob York says, I would like to see some more rant and review videos. Yes. I don't know what type of review videos that I would end up doing, but, yeah, I'll still be doing some rants, but I gotta just find a certain, topic to rant about because I, haven't really been or at the very least, because I remember for a while, I think it was earlier 2017, I started kind of talking about political things, kind of like SJWs and, oh, you're complaining about people not wanting to date you because you're whatever. And it's kind of like, okay. I was talking about like Riley J. Dennis and all that kind of crap. It's like, I don't want to talk about politics anymore. Like, definitely not, because I hate politics. I hate identity politics. So, yeah. So, I'm going to try to avoid to talk about any of those things as much as I possibly can. So, there's that. Mr. Pat55 says, do you know that Matt Groening, the Simpsons and Futurama creator, is coming out with a new Netflix show? It's a medieval themed show. No, I honestly had absolutely no idea. I don't follow a lot of cartoon news, to be honest with you, anymore. But that's cool. So I wonder what kind of show that's going to, or what the show fully is, and might be something I'll check out in the future. Yeah. So, not getting any more questions or any more comments. I'll wait just for a little bit. I might end the stream within 5 minutes, actually. So yeah, it depends. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what else I'd like to talk about. But yeah, again, if there's anything that you would like to see me do on this channel, it could be a new type of content. Let's not just limit, the ideas to doing rants or reviews. I would like to get some new type of ideas, possibly, of what you guys would like to see me do on YouTube, and stuff like that. So, depends, again, definitely. I keep saying it depends. Yeah, I get it. But, yeah, so, yeah, I'll wait for that, hopefully. But again, I'll be ending the stream in about like 5-ish minutes. Mr. Pat55 says, is there really going to be a fourth sequel to Back to the Future? I have not heard of that, and I'm not quite sure if that's really something that's going to end up happening. I don't know. A Back to the Future reboot would be more possible, even though I'm sure no one would want that just because reboots don't tend to be good. But I don't think it would be a fourth sequel. But speaking of, I remember there was this rumor, I think. Well, maybe not rumor, but uh something that was talked about. I think about like Shrek getting a fifth movie. I think. Yeah, Shrek 5. Let me look that up. Shrek 5 will. Yeah, so apparently, I guess there's going to be a fifth Shrek movie coming out next year. Um, which I'm not 100% sure why that's happening. Not to say I don't like Shrek, but wouldn't it make more sense at this point to kind of just, I don't know. Uh, so yeah, that's gonna. I don't know what else to say about that. It's kind of bizarre to hear that there's going to be a fifth Shrek movie after the last one that came out in when 20. I don't know when the last one came out, but yeah. So who knows what it's gonna be about and if it's really truly gonna fully happen, but yeah. You know, I find it interesting how, you know, you have these excuse me, you have these franchises where they've come out with movies like years ago, and then like years later, they're coming out with a another movie. You know, like apparently Legally Blonde is coming out with a third movie, I believe in 2019 or 2012. I don't really know what year. And that came out. Legally Blonde came out like in around 2000. Could have been 2002, 2003, 2004. I really don't freaking know. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how, or even Alice in Wonderland. You know, like Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton movie that came out in like 2010, and then 8 years later, or no, 7 years later, they have another movie coming out, and so that's kind of just interesting how that works. So who knows when it comes to movies and stuff? That's interesting. Um, let's see if there's anything else to mention. A coworker Jeffrey said he got in contact with the film director somehow. It's interesting. I wonder how he did that. Um, and then again, he probably was just lying to you, and he didn't get in contact with the film director unless he personally knows the film director. I don't know. I really don't know. Mr. Bat says, I heard that Mike Myers wanted to originally do a fourth Austin Powers sequel. I never watched any of the Austin Powers movies, as far as I remember. I could have. I don't really know. I don't fully know, to be honest. So, yeah. Yeah, so obviously the stream's definitely winding down. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end this stream in about a minute. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Well, the one thing the last thing I will say is, again, I'm not sure how often I'm going to be creating videos for this channel, because again, I'm still honestly kind of figuring out what video I do want to make. I really don't know. Again, it could be a Peter Rabbit review, and that probably will most likely be coming at some point. But I don't fully know what else I would like to do as well. So that definitely depends. But, you know, I'll definitely keep you guys updated, of course. And, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I hope you guys had a good day. And, yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna make another video. But hopefully it'll be sooner than later. But, yeah, I don't want to be gone for another month. Like, I don't want to do that unless it has to happen. But, yeah, so, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, hope you guys had a good day. And remember, you guys are hearing it from a regular bunny in a regular world. Peace out. And as always, thanks for watching. And...